Manny episode. Sorry, Manny, in advance.
I'm sorry, Manny. I didn't want to make you. Tonight, I'm talking about Nick Aldis.
uh, Manny,
All right,
we're really sorry about this episode, bro.
sorry.
This is everything else. Yeah, this is everything else. Yeah.
Welcome to the most spectacular infinity amount of time show on the YouTube of the Sharpshooters channel. Hereby getting gunned down, or maybe getting gunned down with all, not one, but two, all three faces of Jemal representing the New York Knickerbockers. Jemal, how are you doing today?
What's up, guys? Man, I'm doing all right, man. Like, I was looking at the lineup that we have. Hard Times Daddy going down
Hard
to New
times.
Orleans. Hard Times Daddy.
In the Wetlands. We go back.
I think they dropped the ball, man. They should have put Juice Robinson in the show so he could be rock hard. Juice Robinson at Hard Times.
Honestly, he would be on the poster. He would be on the poster. You know, the whole day he
just like this. Rock hard.
Rock hard. But
missed opportunity.
So much to get into, but before we get to Hard Times, we're going to talk about the hard times between Nick Aldis and William Patrick Corgan, lead singer of the Smashing Pumpkins, who is obviously the owner, founder, head booker, blah, 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 the N.W.A, has said that Nick Aldis is politicking and it's frustrating. And Nick Aldis is out there on his social medias bashing the N.W.A, bashing Billy Corbett, trying to get out of his contract, which is 2 months away before it expires. Corgan responds by saying if he wanted to say this stuff, he could have waited 2 months when he was out the damn company. I don't know why he's waiting before the pay-per-view to express all his concerns and issues with and frustrations with the company. Jemal, you have read up on this situation and I guess heard some of the interviews or whatever's been going on. What are your thoughts on the feud between these two buddies, business partners, Nick Aldis and William Patrick Corgan?
Well, lately I've been like analyzing Mr. Corgan as a booker. Like, like I do as a fan of his as a artist, because like I like the Smashing Pumpkins, I liked his music back in the day and everything of that nature, but like him as the booker, his booking prowess is like, it's not bad, but the way how he's handling business is not the way that you handle business. He's in the realm of Tony Khan, not as bad as Tony Khan, but he's falling into that realm because he's a blend of what Tony Khan and Triple H would be. He's that blend because he understands the business. He understands what pro wrestling is. But at the same time, there's certain things that he's been wheeling and dealing and doing. He's talking about politicking from Nick Aldis, and it's just like, yo, you dead had a number one contender on your weekly, promoted television show, and then you just fucking strip him of the fucking number one contender spot and then fucking give it to some random. Like, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but at the same time, it's like he earned the number one contender spot. So I'm confused. He didn't even get his blow off match. He didn't even get his match. It'd be one thing if he got his match and then lost. The Jonathan Gresham lose the Ring of Honor title to fucking who he lost
Claudio
to?
Castagnoli.
Claudio. That would be one thing. Do the job and then bitch, but he didn't even do the job.
Yeah. So it seems to me, and I am a conspiracy theorist, not that deep, not like we didn't go to the moon or JFK assassination was done by aliens or whatever the hell.
You don't need no anti-Semitics are going on, okay?
Yeah.
I'm
not on no Kyrie Irving stuff. I have no real conspiracies whatsoever, but I'm just going to go with my theory of what's going on here. I think, and and there's lots of times in wrestling where you go like, Is this a work or is it a shoot? I'm going with a work. And I think secretly Nick Aldis has been injured for a while, probably because that's why he hasn't been wrestling and that's why he was pulled off the match. They knew his contract was coming up, and then they're taking a cue from Tony Khan in AEW, in which the MJF situation, which he's always talking about getting out of contract, how much buzz that created. This Nick Aldis situation is just something to generate more buzz for, I think, the Hard Times pay-per-view coming up and doing right by the NWA. Do I feel like it's this much bad blood where Billy Corgan's going on radio talking about Nick Aldis and Nick Aldis posting stuff and deleting stuff? I don't think so. I think they're still partners and they're still working because honestly, I don't see any benefit for Nick Aldis to leave early or try to get out early of his contract. Was he trying to jump in the Rumble? I don't think Triple H is taking him. Is he trying to make Wrestle Kingdom? I don't think that's going to work out for him. There's no spot on that show for him. Is he trying to be a surprise at Full Gear? I don't think so. I think the main benefit is to promote the upcoming pay-per-view Hard Times because Nick Aldis wasn't a part of that pay-per-view anyway. He's not. He hasn't been a part of the show for better part of a month or two.
It's a damn shame.
Yeah, and it seems like the best thing for him to do would be to help promote this show without actually being on the show. So I'm thinking injury, and he's selling the show whatsoever with what I'm trying to say.
Again, with Hard
with
Times.
This controversy. Yeah, with Hard Times.
Madness. Well, like, again, the type of character that I think that Nick Aldis is, because we really don't know who these wrestlers are behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Or like as much as we want to believe, this said this, so this is true. No, unless you meet them yourself and see for yourself who this person is or is not, then then you have to take it with a grain of salt. But
yeah.
That being said, freaking Nick Aldis doesn't seem the type to even do bad business. This is the guy that brought N.W.A out of obscurity, and freaking for 2 years, he did the Jeff Jarrett thing. For 2 years, he fucking built up the National Wrestling Alliance. And if you watch the first episode of N.W.A Power, from a punchline to a headline, that's exactly what he did to the National Wrestling Alliance. And now, people like us are putting the National Wrestling Alliance back in the fold with the other companies like Impact Wrestling, New Japan, freaking AEW, even WWE. But at the same time, it's just they are being small on purpose. I think Nick Aldis is getting too big for the small time.
Yeah, I also think, with his contract going, he wants to test the waters right now. Wrestling business for a lot of wrestlers has never been hotter, with Triple H and Tony Khan signing everybody that's on the indies or wherever and bringing everybody in as a surprise appearance or whatnot. And, Nick Aldis, someone who's never been on one of the largest scales. His biggest run was probably in Impact, probably his most notable. And, this NWA run.
The British invasion, baby.
And then he has his NWA thing. Like you said, he's the main reason I tuned into NWA was that promo. I was like, damn, he hit hard. Let me see what's going on. I got hooked in the early stages of the NWA. The resurgence was like, oh shit, they got something going on here. And then a lot of people saw that. Like your Eddie Kingston, Ricky Starks, all were in NWA. Eli Drake, or it's now LA Knights. All of these guys, all these people were in NWA. And then it seems like Triple H Tony Khan was like, damn, this is actually... These guys are cutting hella fine promos. This is something to watch.
And having banger matches too on YouTube,
free TV, free
YouTube, and they're having bangers, and then they make you want to pay whatever the price of the pay-per-view is because you're invested in that story. Now, I'm not saying that it's fucking $56 or some shit like that. Nah, they $30, maybe 20 something dollars or whatever. That you're willing to pay
$20.
You know what I'm saying? So
you're one Uber Eats meal away from watching an NWA pay-per-view. Basically, that's how much their pay-per-views are costing. About $20. You're like, oh yeah, I can buy French fry. McDonald's, that shit goes up.
When I
But
can go to Burger King myself and get this shit for fucking what $12, but no, I Ubered it, so now I'm paying $27.
I could have just walked. I could have just
Convenience.
walked, but convenience. I don't want to leave the house. I have good parking right now.
They are programming us like a motherfucker.
They got us. They got us. Fucking algorithms never fail. That's why I'm gonna move to the woods and disconnect with everybody. Detox for the I'm not. Don't have time for that. But overall, I feel like, you know, if you were Nick Aldis and you're not Manny, where would you? Where are you signing? Where are you going? What promotion are you going to next?
I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break. I got my hot ass hardcore country wife. I'm making another baby. I'm fucking doing all I'm making another one.
Another one.
I'm gonna show her why they call me the national treasure.
You want 10 pounds of gold? I'll give you 10 pounds of baby.
You want hard times, daddy?
Hard
Get some hard times. Nah, if I was Nick Aldis, I probably either go to one or two places. One, I go to Impact Wrestling, i.e., you know, it depends. Like if he goes to Impact Wrestling, he's only there until Mickie James is out of there, which, you know, her return tour or her final yeehaw,
the last rodeo
still going on.
The last yeehaw.
The last yeehaw.
I bet you in her considerations, like what should I call this? The last yeehaw was probably in consideration.
Last rodeo
or yeehaw.
This ends with me with the women's championship or retired, which is a great selling point for Impact because now you have to tune in every week to see if they're gonna knock her off, and she's going against like Pete, like, you know.
She last person I think she beat was the recently debuted Mia Yim. Debuted on Raw this week. Return. I don't know what we call these, the Revenge of the Releases. I don't know.
Revenge of the Releases. I mean, Mia Yim she wrestled here in New York in Battle Club Pro. Then she went to Impact and then did that one-off against, well, it wasn't a one-off. It was like three.
She was there for a month or two.
Yeah. So I wonder how those contracts work. Yeah, we'll have you for a month and see how it goes.
It's like the NBA 10-day contracts.
Yeah, basically that's what Mia Yim had. The wrestling equivalent of a 10-day contract.
Like, oh, okay, cool.
We see you in the G League. We see you hooping.
So you have him going to Impact, return to Impact. It seems his roots. That would be his roots. He's
either going to go to Impact or he would make a shake at WWE. But WWE is not looking for pro wrestlers. They're looking for superstars. Nick Aldis is not a superstar.
Yeah. To me, he fits in the vein of a Jeff Jarrett. Like, they're good. They're good. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just not on that megastar, superstar, I'm going to push this person to the moon. They're a good mid-card act.
The only way that I see Nick Aldis doing any of that is if he becomes this generation's Ric Flair, which nobody's doing. His daughter is doing it better.
Late for him. Yeah, I think it's a little late to be this generation's Ric Flair for it. I mean, he is 30.
But that's what I would equivalent it to, because, like, you know, you need this monster heel to fucking keep winning without, like, fucking, you know, you can either cheat your way or fucking some shit happens, but you can just keep winning. Like, you know, the Roman run. But I'm not going to compare Roman to Ric Flair. This is Roman's run. This isn't Ric Flair run. This is Roman's run.
Yeah, this is Roman. He the one. He the one.
The ones, all right? See, the only time that Bloods and Crits get together, we're just like, no.
We don't want. Oh, okay, you're part of the tribal chief. You acknowledge the tribal chief. I do feel. I think Impact is the best decision. I don't feel like he has a run in WWE. I don't know what they would do with him. He'd just be a mid card act. Maybe if they bring him in as an agent or do commentary or something like that, they would best use him. But I don't see that happening at all.
Ring of Honor.
or Ring of Honor and their stint, he just get lost in the shuffle with the millions of guys they have there. Yeah, he could talk and everything, but they have a lot of guys who could talk who aren't getting enough TV time already. So I don't feel like him going to either Ring of Honor or AEW that route, that same kind of path works for him. And then I don't really see him going to Japan or doing a lot of the indies. Like I don't see him on New Japan Strong. Like I can see him make appearances on these shows or something, but not like officially under contract.
Who's he gonna have a match with? It's Nick Aldis, former NWA World Champion, against who?
Kenta.
Then Kenta kicks his face in for fucking 15 minutes and then loses from a clover leaf. That's not.
Or he joins the United Empire with Will Ospreay. I don't see any of this. Those are two alphas. Two alphas. It'd be two alphas and it wouldn't work because Nick going to come in there thinking, oh, this is my team and all that. But Ospreay's like, dude, I've been holding this shit down. This is my shit. You don't come in here and all of a sudden you're in this.
That would actually kind of work if they fucking push Nick Aldis. Of course, it'll be sometime after Wrestle Kingdom, but push Nick Aldis to be like, the world championship guy, and then fucking he ends up winning it, and then it's the power struggle between Ospreay and Aldis, and then they have a blow off match, and then Aldis obviously loses that match, but
Yeah, but I don't see it. I don't see him.
It's doing too much.
Mickey,
it's doing too much right now
with the kid. I'm going to Japan.
Yeah, it's doing too much right now.
In my mid-30s, I'm going to Japan. Sorry. I don't see that happening. Like, again, I agree with you. The best choice
is Mr. World Champion. World's champion.
I can see him actually fighting Josh Alexander and actually being a person that can actually take the title off of him and bringing notoriety to that title and the impact. Like, oh, shoot, it's Nick Aldis. Will he put asses in the seats?
No, it wouldn't necessarily be him. It's the people that he faces that brings those asses to the seats because nobody wants him as the world champion, which is the point. Put the belt on him. Fucking, I don't want this guy. Who's going to beat him? Yeah. And then he keeps winning. That's how you do it. That's how it's supposed to be done.
Yeah. What do you think of the chances of him just returning to NWA? Because that's probably my main thing. I think he's going to re-up with them. I think that this is just all promotion.
That's a 10% chance for me. 10%. 10%? Wait,
8 times. No, 8 times.
He's dead. He's dead. We got to come up with some new shit.
He's dead. I told Manny that on the show yesterday, we pushed them too hard. We pushed them too hard on the show. They watched what happened and realized that everybody was yelling 8 times down on Braun Breaker. And they were like, all right, then, goddamn it. But you shouldn't have advertised it. You started this, damn it.
Should never came out on NXT waving that fucking Money in the Bank briefcase around if you wasn't gonna cash in on him.
Yeah.
Fuck. It would have been a better fit. It would have comes full circle. Johnny Gargano ain't there to hold him back.
Yep. It would have been nice. It would have been he can explain it. I never won this title. And all that and stuff. The US
and now I'm the guy on the show. And then he can go on Raw, being the NXT champion, winning matches, going back,
similar to the way Ziggler was NXT champion, just being like, I'm on both shows.
Except
I'll bring more notoriety. Yeah, and then bring notoriety. Now that we're done with Nick Aldis, pretty much, what did you feel about that U.S. title cash in and all that situation? What were your thoughts on that, real quick?
Man, why even give it to Theory at that point? But because his boy is not there no more, then his daddy ain't there no more. I think
out there on dates.
It's not over. It's not over for Austin Theory. Austin Theory's still young. He still got time. This is a what this Chase U says. This is a teachable moment.
This is a teachable moment.
It's a teachable moment for him. So, he can still bounce back. The Royal Rumble's right around the corner. He's got from now to the Royal Rumble to make himself viable. He's got now beef with 2 niggas. So if he decides to,
I hope you don't say I'm beefing with 2 niggas because then Bobby gonna come back for him.
But there's 2 different people that he can go after legitimately, and nobody will question it. You know what I'm saying? That's already 2 rivalries that they made with that one instant. You cost me the Money in the Bank briefcase. Oh, Seth Rollins, you didn't really beat me. Bobby beat me. Blah blah blah. So he's developed a branching rivalry. This is Raw 2 branching rivalry. Pick your side. You know what I'm saying?
Pick your journey. Pick your campaign. What do you want to do? Do you want to fight Bobby Lashley or Seth Rollins? I'm always picking Seth Rollins. I don't care. Bobby Lashley will whoop my ass. Yeah, my whole thing is, after thinking about it, it made zero sense logically. Like, it's an open challenge and he's already been the US champion and all that. But in retrospect, if they are trying to make the US title the Raw champion, because Roman has the other titles on lock, if the US title becomes the main focal point show, it is a way to elevate that title and say, no, this is now
this is what people are
belt.
going for. Yeah, this is what people are going for.
This is the belt on Raw. This is not a mid-card title. So if they did that, and I think they're going to also give the briefcase back to him. There was way too much interference going on. Although you can say that's equal interference right there, because Rollins got that work too first. Then you just got it second. So
speaking of another US belt, that freaking Billy Corgan made a new belt for the US tag team, the N.W.A US tag team championships. He made a brand new belt, and then the holders of the belts was just like, nah, I don't want it. I want this one.
I need the Star and Stripes. I need Star and Stripes. The other one has Star and Stripes as my title. You're still champion. Nah, you ain't taking this away from me. Oh man.
This goes back to when we were talking about Billy Corgan not being did he even ask? I mean, you shouldn't have to, but look at those belts.
Yeah, look at those belts compared to the new belts. I know we don't have an image of these belts or anything, but they look so much better than the belt the dude had. The US title.
Like the US tag titles belts, the main belt looks like, the old US title that they had back in the day, just a side plate. That's what it looked like. The main plate looks like the side plate.
Yeah, it's like, what? It's terrible. It's terrible looking. Those older belts, there was no artistic effort to make these look pretty at all. It's a belt. Take it.
You're just making belts just to make belts.
Yeah. In other U.S. news, Will Ospreay defeated Naito to retain the United States title. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to get a United States person from the United States to ever carry that title again, but he did retain it. And at the end of the match, his first line was, "That's how you make a United States title matter." This is well before Austin Theory and Seth Rollins. So people in the United States, a lot of controversy with anybody with a U.S. title attached to their name. Just like, oh, this is going on. Okay.
This makes sure that the United States is just a controversial place to be. Y'all don't want to come here. Y'all don't want that smoke.
You don't want that smoke? Can't agree on nothing here. Can't agree on nothing.
God damn it. We can't even agree if fuck. You don't even know what you're talking about.
I have no facts. I'm in your comment section. Why?
You don't even know why you're angry. I'm angry.
I'm angry. I'm angry because you're happy.
Sounds like Braun Strowman over there, fucking flipping. Oh, we're the monsters with the 56 5-star. Like, what the fuck? Like, what was he talking about?
47-star match. I don't know. We all know, for the record, Braun Strowman is not the brightest of all the people. Like, there is an argument to say what he was trying to say, which he did not say well and did not say accurately and is inaccurate about, is that, me and Omos, who had a solid match at Crown Jewel, it was a good big man match. It was nothing that blew anybody out the water, but, they did more than what you expected.
People expected from both of them. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think he was just saying, that's how big men have a good match, and you don't need to do flips to have a good match, which he is right. But
when you
there's
have
all type
people
of
like Jacob
styles.
Fatu and Jeff Cobb and Jonah fucking flying off the top rope, your shit is irrelevant, my nigga.
Yeah. But his argument that you don't need people to flip around and stuff, you don't. But it is nice to change it up every now and then for each
We
wrestler. I
don't
don't want to see the same match.
we don't need to see the monster mash every fucking match. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to be fucking 7'9", 786 pounds worth of fucking mass just demolishing everybody. How does that get anyone over?
Hey,
It doesn't.
I'll tell you this
But
right now. If I had someone that was 7'9", 700 pounds, that is my world champion. He is wrestling every single week because what the fuck? Who's beating that? What is this? 700 pounds?
Rey Mysterio, 619. Rey Mysterio, 619. Splash from the top, and he wins the world title with a quick roll up.
Quick roll up after a hit with a chair or a nut shot or something. Rhea Ripley body slamming it. 700 pounds, Rhea Ripley body slam. No, but there needs to be more variety in wrestling. I hate when I watch a show and everybody's doing the same styles of, oh, this is the high flyer guys. And it's just everybody's a high flyer. But I like when it's a mix of technical guys, big guys, high flyer guys, flippity floppity, whatever they call them these days. But I like when it's a good mix, and you probably get the best mix out of that in either New Japan, WWE, and even AEW. You get a good mix of all of that. But I hate when I watch a show when it's just like, oh, they're all throwing super kicks, they're all doing Canadian destroyers, they're all diving over the top rope doing the same dive.
All that moves mean nothing. All those moves made nothing without the story behind it. Why are we wrestling? What are we wrestling for? Even if we're not wrestling for anything, if we're just wrestling to see who's the best. Who is the best? That's the basic foundation of what it is. Everything else after that builds upon of who is the best. Whether it's like a blood feud, whether it's you, my honor, you slap my girl and now have to fucking fight for her honor. And then she turns on him, the Chris Jericho fucking Christian. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
she likes it rough.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, there has to be, for every great match that we talk about, there's always a story behind it. From everything from Okada to Omega to CM Punk and Cena to, like, you know, Stone Cold and The Rock. And I'm particularly talking about WrestleMania 17. All right, that
like you hit all those matches.
He's like, he said, "Fuck that, bro. Fuck all that bullshit. I want to be world champion. This is who they tried to push that Deborah shit. No, fuck that, bro. I want the world title. I want to be the absolute best." And then The Rock was like, "I'm gonna give you the fucking best. And when you lose, don't fucking say nothing." Like,
you're thinking of the My Way video package. I
exactly.
need this Rock. I need this Rock. What was the
epitome? That was the epitome of what how do you get that match? Even like, you know, it's WrestleMania. It's The Rock. It's Stone Cold. But take all that away and just that alone to be the best.
Yep.
Title, no title. To be the best. That's the foundation of pro wrestling. To be the best.
Yeah, and I mean, you can have all the spots, and even if you're Strowman and Omos and you have a solid match, even if it's a solid match, it never beats the stories of the matches. Like, when in more recent things, I can go with other ones, you know, whether it's like go back to Ric Flair, Dusty, or something like that, and all their feuds, and, you know, everything can go with all that, you know, Michaels and Brad and all their story behind that, or, you know, you can carry all that with you. But, like, if you just tell me you have a decent match and you tell a good story, if you go back to as recently as like Roman and Jey Uso and just have that,
like, people did not
the
think
shit
that
out
match
of them,
was gonna go crazy, but it did.
Yeah. The story behind it, because it was mostly Roman would hit him and just talk. And it's like, stay there, acknowledge me and all that. He's beating his ass. And you got Jimmy coming out there on one leg, talking about just give up, man. You don't have to just acknowledge him. Don't hit him. All right, he quit. I quit. Yeah, just that emotion behind it, you just get it and you get lost into it. Hell, even in the small story, and I'm just using Roman as an example. because I feel like he's one of the better just storytellers in the ring. You may not care about everything he does in the ring. He has like 6 moves, whatever. But his stories in his matches, they all make sense. Whether it's with Lesnar, whether it's with Logan Paul, like at Crown Jewel. Every time you watch Roman Reigns, whether it's with Daniel Bryan and ending his career or Edge or something like that, every Roman match makes sense within the story, and he's always in character in his matches, even if Sami Zayn's involved. And which, you know, that's what I think. Those are my favorite type of wrestlers. Just people who can engage me in the stories, like Okada. Whenever he's out there, just tells you a story and
no matter
builds
who's
upon matches. Yeah, builds upon the build, comes up with a particular strategy per guy and all that. It's like this is well put together stuff.
We've seen him face like Tanahashi like 8,000 times, but each time that they face each other, there's a different story. We've seen him face like Naito a billion fucking times, but each time that they wrestle is a different story every single time. And there's not a lot of wrestlers that can do that. MJF is another one of those wrestlers that can do that.
Yep, just falls right into the story. Like when he needs to get his ass beat quick, it made sense that Wardlow took his ass out, essentially, at Double or Nothing, where he had the match with CM Punk, and they're going back and forth, and it's his childhood hero, and you know, from the entrances to the final bell, it was just like this was a coherent story for either Dustin and Cody when they had their match at the first what was it, Double or Nothing? Double or Nothing.
When they and they were just facing each other just to face each other.
Yeah, and told the story of 2 brothers, and then he got emotional at the end. It was like, oh, there's a coherent story. Those are the reasons why we watch wrestling. But I think we got sidetracked over this. I don't even know how this started. Oh, we're talking about Braun Strowman. I forgot. But
all right.
At the end of the day, Braun, shut the fuck up. That's what the moral of the story is.
So since there's like a billion matches on Hard Times and a billion titles on Hard Times as well, like what matches are you looking forward to for Hard Times in New Orleans? Daddy.
All right, so one, New Orleans is a great town to wrestle in, or just it's a great place to be. If you go there for a wrestling event, it's the perfect WrestleMania time. It's small enough that everything just feels like one giant WrestleMania party. So hopefully they have that somewhat of that atmosphere for that. I doubt it because I have no idea where this is even taking place in New Orleans. But at the
Civic Center.
At the Civic Center. Okay. So I am looking forward to a match that I have never seen before, a women's casket match with Max the Impaler versus Natalia Markova. This is non-title, just grudge.
Just a grudge match.
Just a grudge match.
And Max the Impaler is just like this massive, like for those that don't know Max the Impaler, think of what Sarah Logan or Sarah Rowe would be, but massive.
Yeah. What if Sarah Rowe ate what Awesome Kong was eating?
Exactly.
Or if you want to put it into more context, we just brought up a 7'9", 700-pound wrestler. This is the equivalent of that.
This is the women's version.
Yes, the women's version of that. But I'm curious how this is gonna be, and I'm curious. I've never seen an all women's casket match before, so I'm intrigued about that one. That's probably one of the bigger matches I am intrigued. I know their main events and stuff, Camille and fucking.
The triple threat match, triple threat match, that's gonna be dope. But does the one time have it in her to stay the one time? Because she doesn't have to lose. Yeah, Chelsea Green is a shiesty one, and then they got that Kylie King. Yeah, she's
who like, you got?
It's hard. It's tough. I don't have anybody.
I
would like Chelsea Green to win, but. You know, Camille is representing that belt very well. She's got the Burke. She's the one time. So, you know, and then obviously King over there. She's been proving herself all over. Impact, AW, indie scene. I seen her on fucking MLW the other day. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, people just be showing up everywhere.
She's all over the place. So it'd be good to see her get her just due.
I got Chelsea Green winning. I got the Cardonas completely taken over And coming in on next week's NWA, talking about, the Cardona family has all the belts and all that. I know they don't have all of them because like 300,000 belts, but it can see Matt Cardona winning the NWA title in that triple threat, getting the title he never lost back, and Chelsea Gray being the women's champion.
And have VSK eventually take the tag titles away. Maybe.
Yep. Maybe they beat La Rebellion, who is fighting Hawks and basically Hawks and PJ Hawk.
PJ Hawks and his son.
Oh, okay. I see how it listed. It has like 3 different names. I'm like, I don't know who's actually wrestling in this match, but they can eventually take that.
Bobby Carino versus Davey Richards, MLW Middleweight Championship. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really great match. But I think the better match will be Homicide versus Kerry Morton.
Yeah,
you got story going there.
That story right there. I want to see what happens.
You got story going on there of basically their last match where Homicide used unsavory tactics.
Unsportsmanlike tactics, unsportsmanlike conduct on Homicide, but welcome to the business, kid.
Yeah, he beat up both him and his daddy that night. And for those who haven't been watching Homicide lately, he's just turned it on. He's having really good matches lately. So I have that one. Yeah, everywhere. And I think that's going to be one of the show stealers on the show. I don't expect much from EC3 Tom Lattimore. I think it's just going to be whatever. That's
just the name getting the asses in the seats. The name, not the match, but the name.
Yeah. Oh, EC3 on the show. I'll watch it, I guess.
Who's your sleeper match? There's got to be at least one. I got mine.
Let's see. I got Odinson versus To Be Determined. Who his mystery opponent gonna be?
Because Nick Aldis is not there.
Yeah, because it can be anybody. It's not Nick Aldis for sure. For damn sure, it's not Nick Aldis. So it could be anybody under the sun, and I don't know who they're gonna go with. Honestly, I really don't know.
My sleeper is gonna be the NWA Women's Tag Team Championship match with Pretty Empowered versus Maddie and Hello Friend. But basically Maddie and Hello Friend, they're getting serious, and basically Pretty Empowered is in trouble because they're like, nah, we're not losing these belts. For those who have not been watching NWA, this is the feud that's been driving that force. It's been driving NWA USA on Saturdays. It's been driving Power. It's been driving. It's literally the driving force. Low key, little gas, little gas in the engine. So,
all right. So, what do you have as the big story coming out of the show? What do you got?
So the big story coming out of the show, obviously, is the triple threat. NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. There's nothing else that matters as much as that. You got Matt Cardona trying to get a title he never lost due to injury. You got Tyrus, who was so close to winning the world title, and he just, he was right on the precipice of winning, and then he just couldn't do it. So he even turned in his United States Championship the TV title. He turned in one of his titles. He turned in one of his titles because there's 8 billion titles. He turned in one of his titles he gave the option C. He gave the option C to Billy Corgan and is like, put me in the world title match. I know I can win. I know I can beat him. And then you have the 2-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion in Trevor Murdoch. 2022, Trevor Murdoch is a world champion. Let's put that in perspective.
15 years.
You know what I'm saying?
Like fuzz.
Remember Trevor Murdoch? God damn it.
Cade Murdoch, man.
One of the best tag teams in Raw wrestling history. No funny.
Oh, you gonna put them in history? You gonna put them in history?
They were a great tag team. No funny shit. They beat a lot of people. They beat them. Evolution beat them. Fucking RKO beat them. Fucking.
I know they may have beat Legacy or something like that, but I still don't. I don't have them ranked in my
Or
all-time classic tag
they're
teams.
not all time, but I'm just saying I'm talking about Raw, just Raw champion, Raw champion. That
I give them
belt,
of their era. They were really good. Of
they
their
were
era,
really good.
they were.
Like you
And
wanted,
I feel like,
you wanted to see them versus Beer Money, just to
well,
see who would win.
if WWE was ever serious about tag teams, we would have had an epic feud between Kane and Murdoch versus Crime Time for the belts, battling up and down the road. And I know they had matches, but there was never a real serious program. If it was in
Well,
modern day wrestling, I think we would have had a serious program.
now that JTG, the God, Jay the God, is at fucking NWA, maybe we can have that match if Trevor Murdoch ends up winning the world title.
Dang, it just hit me that both of their tag partners are gone. It just hit me. Shoot. Like that hurts actually think
That's full
about it. Like,
circle.
yeah. And it's like they can fight. Like, oh man, this is crazy.
And they can fight for
Uh,
the world title on each other's friends' honor.
that would be nice, but I don't think Trevor Murdoch keeping that title, and I don't think Jay the God is getting a title shot anyway anytime soon. Even though he is teaming with
He's
Turtle
wrapped up in
Dingo, he's
triple
in
threat
tag team.
matches and 6-man tag matches. He's in a 6-man tag with
He,
the Pope. It's him, the Pope, and Jax Dane versus like niggas.
he's mostly a tag wrestler. Well, he was a tag wrestler before, but his tag partner is Fandango, who I don't know if it's still his partner. He may be in Impact
No.
now.
Dirty Dango is all over the fucking place too. So
Yeah, so we should see with that. But it's an interesting card. Would I pay good money to see it? I probably like hear buzz before I see it. I think it's going to be a solid show, but I don't know what the asking price is for it just yet. So I don't want to be like
$25.
$25. If you got
$25
$25 to spare,
both
go ahead and
nights.
order that. Both nights. 2 for 1, 2 for 1. Or if you have the NWA access thing, you can you just get it free.
Like I do.
Yeah. So good card. Solid card coming up.
So let's
Anything
talk
else
about
happening on the ring?
November. We got War Games. That's all anybody cares about.
And
Full
Full
Gear is
Gear.
coming up. Yep, Full Gear War Games. That's happening.
And my favorite thing, the Full Gear Media Scrub, because that's where the action happens.
Oh, they have Revolution Rumble the next night.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a 2-night thing, and I can't remember
The Revolution Rumble, which is a 20-man Royal Rumble match. So the winner gets a shot at the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. There's a lot of no names in this match, man.
Yeah.
Literally,
Who sticks out to you in this match that's gonna win? If it's
they got Drake,
like,
they got people in here, but like Odinson is in there, Rhett Titus, Sal, fucking. They got people in here, but it's like for the 10 people that we know, there's 10 people that we don't know, and it's just like,
yeah.
And then Trevor Murdoch is wrestling for his Wildcat Pro Wrestling Championship against Edge Stone. Have no idea who that is. I'll find out though. Let's believe. I don't know him. What's his highlight tape? Get the tapes.
Tape, Edge Stone.
Yeah.
But overall, seems like a good week in wrestling. You got a lot of stuff going on. We got AEW tonight, Raw, SmackDown on Friday, Hard Times over the weekend, and that's pretty much it.
Man, let's talk about freaking New Japan Pro Wrestling with the Battle of Autumn, man. Shota Umino returned. Shota Umino returned on his excursion to challenge one Will Ospreay for the IWGP United States Championship after a hard-fought match against Tetsuya Naito. Yes. Who I thought he was going to win. I thought Naito was going to win.
He could have. But I think that everything's kind of set where we're at until Wrestle Kingdom. I think that we're not going to have many title changes or anything, kind of mix things up too much. I think they have what they set out to do for January. We just got to be patient, go through the holiday season,
Well,
and
there's
get
one
there.
match that's not set, and that we're gonna find out later on down the road. So, the New Japan World Television Championship Tournament. Where the fuck is Ren Narita winning these matches, boy? Like Ren Narita's beating everybody.
Ren Narita beat who did he beat this
He
week?
beat Ishii. He beat
Yeah, he
Ishii,
beat.
and then he followed it by beating Sonata this night. He beat
Yeah.
Sonata.
That was the one I watched. I watched the one with him and Sonata. I went, "Oh shit, you serious?" I was shocked.
Narita beat Sonata. I was like, what?
I was like, "No."
When he beat
Like
Ishii,
I thought that was a given. I thought that was a given that Sonata was winning.
when he beat Ishii, I was like, okay, nah, maybe Ishii's getting old.
Yeah,
He beat Sonata.
he beat Sonata. I was like, "Oh, okay."
You
That's
know
what we're
who's next
going
on
to.
his plate? You know who's next for him? Zack Sabre Jr.,
Yeah.
who just defeated Evil. So it's Ren Narita versus Zack Sabre.
That's the finals, right? That's the finals for the title, right?
Yo.
And I predicted this at the start of the tournament. I picked Zack Sabre Jr. on this show, and I said he's going to win this title, and he's going to win. They are not going Ring Arena again over Zack Sabre Jr. I will not allow it. I will not allow it.
Imagine, though. Ren
Can imagine
Narita.
it.
Fuck, he said, fuck Excursion. I'm going to do that shit right here. The path that he had to take, Ishii, Sonata, Zack Sabre Jr. That's crazy.
Gotta lose.
If he pulls it off.
He can't do it. Can't do it. Although Ring Arena.
Is it that he can't do it, or is it that he won't do it?
Both. I got both.
Ren Narita.
No, I got the triple threat. He won't do it. He can't do it. I won't allow him to do it.
You won't allow him.
I will not allow this.
These are the same motherfuckers that fucking put Kota Ibushi out of this kidnapping.
Oh, yeah.
They do what the fuck they want.
That is also true. But yeah, I still have Zack Sabre Jr. going over. FTR out there again, throwing out bangers after bangers.
Doing
just
fucking
bangers.
things.
Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb, they tore that house down. Like
that was probably the match of the night if it wasn't for Ospreay and Naito.
Yeah. I got it as a tie, honestly. Personally, when I watched them both, I was like, I really love this FTR match. It's just so put together so well.
The fact that it went back to back, like it was back to back.
Yeah. Like the show was okay. The show was okay, but that took it to the next level.
Those two matches carried that entire show. And I'm not gonna stunt on Hikuleu and Yujiro Takahashi with the story of Carl Anderson not being there.
But, come on, Carl Anderson wasn't there. That's kind of the story. But overall, it was a really good show. Like even the tag match with Okada, Jay White, and forget who was in that match.
What about Catch 22 and the debut of Titan with Los Ingobernables?
That was good. That was good.
That's the flippy
high energy match
that Braun hates.
Yeah. Braun hated all this. How he's gonna be Titan when I am a Titan?
Titan. But yeah, I think this was a good introduction to Titan in LIJ.
Yeah.
Hopefully it continues.
Yep. But what was the other thing? There was
besides Ren Narita fucking winning fucking Sonata. The fuck? Nobody cares about Master Wato. Nobody cares It was basically niggas that hate each other tagging together.
Yeah. Strange bedfellows match. Ishimori
and Takahashi versus Desperado.
I'm blanking on this match, but I knew everybody. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like Desperado and all. I was like, hey, these are my guys. But the Strange Bedfellows match that happened.
They should have put Despy and fucking Ishimori together versus Wato, and that would have made more sense.
It would have, but I think they wanted to go with the Strange. Yeah,
would have been as interesting.
So with all that, that's all I have for the show. Like, check out that show. I still got as I said, I think yesterday or a day before, whenever, best time to be a tag wrestler ever. Like this is the greatest. Like when people talk about tag wrestling greats, you're gonna talk about this era of wrestling in all companies, whether it's New Day Usos or Briscoes out there, just them boys out in them streets fighting whoever. Mostly they're trying to fight the main event these days, or the main event's
FTR,
trying to
Young
fight them.
Bucks. Yep.
FTR, Aussie Open, Young Bucks, the Lucha Bros, I don't know why I'm blanking out on the Sesame Daddy, the Acclaim.
The Acclaim.
Blanking out on all
Man.
these names.
Everybody loved the
Swerve to
Acclaim.
Glory. Everybody loves the Acclaim. So this might
Even
be the greatest time to be a
tag
tag
team.
wrestler.
Women's tag team, pretty empowered. The Hex,
Yep.
you got Vexed on, you know what I'm saying?
AC Express on NXT last night. A
Shit.
legit tag team. They just need more teams to fight. They're a legit tag team.
Son, Zoe Stark, bro.
I died laughing when she had a show. I mean, tune in for my reaction for the full thing tomorrow, but that shit had me laughing when she hit him with that belt because I was like, oh, okay, we show a little respect. And she was like, nah, this ain't about you. This ain't about you. You cost me the title.
It's just me. It's for me.
And I enjoyed the crowd even chanting, Zoe's angry, and she's like, looks at the yes, I am. Yes, I am. I died laughing. Also, another bang on that show was Axiom versus McDonough. I hope he's not really hurt. But that shit, like,
you heard Booker T. You heard Black Snow. I heard it pop.
I heard it pop. Oh, it popped.
Oh, I heard it pop. Oh.
But that match was that match.
You heard that thing pop.
Braun Strowman hated that match too. Heard it pop. You didn't hear that? You heard it. You see when it twists, the leg bent that way.
The leg is not supposed to bend that way. Oh, I'm gonna start talking like this the rest of the day now. Genesis,
you gotta throw up. You gotta have to keep throwing the
every sentence. I'll be like, what you mean? There's no ginger on the fridge? Oh,
ginger ale in the fridge. It's made my stomach start to bubbling.
I made all this food and you're not gonna eat. Oh,
look how tender that meat is. Look, that's the sucky quack quack.
Oh.
All right, guys. For everybody that did tune into the show, I can't believe the chat was booming today. Sorry we didn't get time to any of your comments in the comment section.
If you guys want another review of the Crown Jewel event or the last event that happened in the weekend, where I go a little more in depth on Battle of Autumn as well, Mid-Card Mess Podcast episode 79 is out. It's out.
Check it out for more details. And also, you have the interview coming out. Is it Friday?
Yeah, Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Whenever Eric decides to post it, me and Eric had a great conversation to shoot. We talk about my military experience, and yeah, it's really great.
I believe it should be coming out Veterans Day. It's competing with Raw is Retro, where 1998 happens again. Again.
You gotta say it Jericho style. Well, Jericho didn't come back until like
again. Yes, again. Check out Raw is Retro again. Experience 1998 again. Because you may experience it as a child and loved everything, but when you go back, you go like, man, ain't shit happening here.
What the fuck? What the fuck is going on?
Last matches.
I caught myself watching Nitro the other day. I was like, what the fuck is this? Return of Glacier. What? Glacier? Man, I must have thought that shit was cool in 98, boy. Goddamn.
Nothing had me more hyped than the video package of Glacier, and then only to get to Glacier in a match and going like, this is it. I was really wanting Sub-Zero. I want Sub-Zero.
You're about to have Sub-Zero in the game. Yo, no funny shit though. Fucking WCW N.W.A Revenge. Best believe I was whooping niggas' asses with Glacier. They were like, WDDP, Glacier nigga.
All right, go ahead. Bring your diamond cutter.
Glacier nigga. Whooping their ass.
You gonna be Hogan? Glacier.
Glacier nigga.
Hey, in that game, Glacier had a really good moveset, to be honest.
Bro,
like he played really well. He was better than what he was on TV. He was overpowered. Like, wait a minute, they overpowered this Glacier.
Glacier
shouldn't be this good.
God damn. So I used Glacier. I used Perry Saturn because people didn't expect it from me.
I like the Rings of Saturn.
I liked using D Malenko. I enjoyed using Rey Mysterio, except for his finishing move, which was trash, just a roll up.
Right? What? He didn't have the any other stuff, the hip hop pop or anything, right?
Just a roll up. I was just like, damn. You can fly off the top rope and then do like a Hurricane Rana type thing. Yeah. Knock him out.
Yeah. They limit Rey Mysterio. The times couldn't keep up with Rey Mysterio back then. Like that shit was just too hard to be like, what is this? Like,
Glacier, nigga.
Glacier. That's what we could work with. We could work with throwing kicks, but you bouncing off the ropes and flipping over people and diving all over the place and moving at 1,000 miles per hour. We ain't ready for that. Technology can't keep up with you, Ray.
Do you think that AEW Fight Forever is going to be just another version of Revenge or No Mercy or WWE 2000, just like an updated version?
I hope it's just a really well put together updated version. But my fears for this game is that I see nothing of this game really. It seems so like well kept and hidden. Like I haven't seen gameplay, no demo footage. They're talking about release date.
There's gameplay out there. There's footage, there's footy. Basically the demo. The demo is Adam Cole, Big Show, CM Punk, Omega, Thunder Rosa, and Hikaru Shida. And obviously they can all face each other. So you could have a match with Big Show versus Thunder Rosa.
Now I want Big Show versus Rio.
It's looking like it's gonna come on Xbox Game Pass day one.
Yeah, but they said they denied that. They said it's not. Yeah, they said it's not. They're not doing that. Although I think it probably will, but I think they're trying to stop that to increase their sales. You don't want it. Oh shit, Game Pass. They spend all this money on this. You gotta make sure I'm selling.
So I was telling Genesis this the other day. I was like, it's actually smart for AEW to put it on Game Pass day one. You got to think, how many people have fucking Game Pass? Like billions of niggas. Like if you have Xbox, you should have Game Pass, and if you don't, you're an idiot. But if you do, for everybody that has, for everybody that does, for everybody that does have the Xbox Game Pass, basically the subscription that you pay for the Game Pass is going to make that game get paid for itself.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't know how the money works in that. If I'm AEW, do you make money off that?
You do, because Xbox or Microsoft in this aspect gives you that contract to, hey, we're going to give you X amount of dollars so that way your game could be up on here. So what you think that you make, what you think that you could have made, we're going to fucking pay you that. But if it doesn't produce, then we'll take it off. And then that's it. That's your promotion, whatever not. But if the game is if the game is good, then people are going to continue wanting to play it. Then that's when they're going to hit you with, okay, we're going to take it away, but just here. So now you double dipped.
Bless you.
Thank you. But hopefully, that's how things work.
Yeah, hopefully all is well with that. Because every time, all I see is that poster of Fight Forever, and I go like, I see posters for, bless you again. I see posters for Fire Pro Wrestling that look hotter than this one. This just looks like it's there. And you got CM Punk on the cover, and y'all hate him now.
Well, look. CM Punk, Kenny Omega, Jade Cargill. Who else is on the cover? I mean, FTR is not even in the game, so it's like,
yeah. Again, I forget. I constantly forget about that. I just don't understand how this happened.
But think about it like this: for every FTR that's not in the game, right? We've had FTR in a video game before. Think of all the others that have this is their first video game appearance. Your Jungle Boys, your Young Bucks, your I'm not gonna say Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega was featured in a goddamn video game, Fire Pro Wrestling. For those that don't know, motherfuckers, don't hate me on that. You know, fucking Adam Cole's been in the game before, but like Big Show's been in the game before, but Hikaru Shida, Thunder Rosa, Darby Allin, like all these people that's in AEW, MJF, all these people that's never been in a wrestling game before. Now they're gonna be featured. Thousands of people gonna be able to play as them in a game. Like that's
true. But that's how I felt about the TNA game that originally came out, which looked great. Looked great.
Again,
played okay. Played okay.
I liked it.
Okay.
Because it was unique. So like every wrestling game that I play, I rather it be its own entity as opposed to a carbon copy of whatever. Like for example, Rumble Roses. Don't judge me. I was fucking 11 once. So but that played just like SmackDown versus Raw. It was like a hybrid of Here Comes the Pain and Shut Your Mouth. It was basically a hybrid of that. That's how Rumble Roses played. So if you ever play Rumble Roses, that's how it's gonna play. The Lucha Libre game, the AAA game, is the TNA game. It's the same controls.
I remember playing that, going like, "Oh, this is this game."
So
I think that's why it worked better for I think when we played it back in the day. It was like, oh, I remember these controls from this game. Oh, it's like this. That helped in a lot of games back in the day where you're like, oh, it plays like this. Oh, okay. Now I know what to do.
And then you enjoyed the game. You know what I'm saying? Like freaking when I played Warzone for the first time, and then I freaking played ECW Hardcore Revolution. I'm like, Hardcore Revolution, yeah. Wait a minute, this plays exactly like Warzone. So this is just a fucking copy and paste.
This is a clone of Attitude or whatever the other game was. Yeah.
So Thunder and Nitro was this unique game. As bad as Backstage Assault was, Mayhem was better for it because of that, because it had a ring. You know what I'm saying? So each game was unique. WCW NWO Revenge is not WCW The World on PlayStation 1. Like it's different.
It's No Mercy or WrestleMania 2000.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
They're all in that category. But I just hope that this game delivers. I know they spent a lot of time on it, a lot of money as well. And I just hope it looks better than some of the previews. Because the previews, it doesn't give me. I'm not like the biggest gamer anymore, but it just doesn't. It's not hyping me up. I'm not seeing that makes me go like, fuck, I can't wait to play this game. Other than I want to play as those characters. That's pretty much it. And they don't have FDR in there. It takes it out. It takes me out right now. Hey.
The wrestling game I'm waiting for is the Wrestling Code, or whatever the fuck they named it again. They changed the name of it, but that's the game I'm waiting for. The Virtual Basement game. That is going to be a game that has to deliver. It's the indie game of indie games.
The ultimate indie games.
It's the indie game of indie wrestling, baby.
It's your indie wrestler's favorite wrestling indie game. All right. Well, that concludes the show. I think we covered literally everything on the show, from U.S. titles. I mean, we didn't cover MJF being the fake Von Erich, Lance Von Erich, but
Zac Efron.
Good for him. Zac Efron looks good. Like that dude's an amazing.
Too bad he's the brother that dies.
Yeah, well, obviously, it's a Von Erich story. Someone had to be a brother that dies.
Well,
MJF, spoiler alert, will live through the entire movie.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that movie. I'm gonna love that.
Yeah, I'm watching the shit out of it.
I'm gonna watch the shit out that.
I don't even know where it's coming out, but I don't know when it's coming out, where it's gonna be on. But
it better not be like that disappointing fucking Lucha movie that I watched because Shawn Michaels was in there.
Nacho Libre? No, it's not.
No. I know. It's like, that he had a white mask. It was like a Saint, some shit. Shawn Michaels was in it.
I think one episode we need to just talk about wrestling movies in general. In general. Like there's a bunch of where it's Ready to Rumble, The Wrestler,
The wrestler was good. It made me cry.
yeah. The what was the Page movie called? Fight the Family, No
Waiting for
Holds
My
Bar.
Family. No Holds Barred,
Yeah.
bro. We just talk about just straight wrestling movies.
Yeah, I think we need to have a discussion of straight up wrestling movies, not starring wrestling movies that actually feature it. Nacho Libre, whatever. There's a bunch of just wrestling movies where you go like, fuck. Like even documentaries Beyond the Mat, My Last Match, you know, the whole thing.
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang, just discussion of what is the greatest wrestling movie of all time. Maybe that'll be next week on everything else. Maybe that's what we'll do. The greatest
If nothing is going on, that's
time.
probably what we'll do.
But you know, with hard times and stuff going on, every motherfucker shining everywhere. We'll see.
Nick Aldis gonna pop up on AEW television for one day, and then just to show up on fucking Friday Night SmackDown
and acknowledge the Tribal Chief.
LA Knight. Yeah, bro. Who's that? Oh my God, it's Magnus. What? Damn, they changed his name again.
They call him Magnus? Shit. Triple H doing some shit like that. You ain't shit calling him Magnus. Bring back the Brutus Magnus.
It's Maxius Magnus.
You can't be Brutus. You can't be Brutus Magnus. Why not? We have a Brutus Creed. So I'm sorry. You're just Magnus.
He's won the N.W.A World Heavyweight Championship 5 times. Like he's just gonna throw away stat. When did Michael Cole become a stat guy, bro? He never was a stat guy.
We talked about it yesterday. Like Michael Cole, this dude was a Progress champion back in 1995 or something. Like, what the fuck is this? And the original thing, PWG. This is a PWG dream match.
I guess Michael Cole heard me trying to take his job, and then he was just like, nah.
Manny, like,
you ain't taking my goddamn job.
You go to Michael Cole's house. He's like, yeah, you want to watch some All Japan from 1999?
He's gonna be like,
what?
He's gonna look at me like, which match? And I'm like, the Stan Hansen Vader match. You know, where his eye popped out. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like if you like Cole go to his house, it's like, oh yeah, it's just layers and layers of videos of wrestling matches. Like, yeah, you watched all this? I watched everything. I love this shit. I go to indie shows in disguise.
He has like a chair that he sits in with his underwear, and he's just got the pipe.
His wife walks by. We go to the store today? Nah. Watch the Starcade 1986.
Yeah. What the fuck?
On VCR, on VHS tape. Then updated.
It's the DVR, son, because he has to do the DVDs at the same time.
Jumps into his burner Twitter accounts to start trolling people.
This is the one I use for AEW. This is the one I use for Oh.
Oh man. Michael Cole's AEW account. What's his name? Oh, I just go by Michael Cole. People don't care. People don't believe it's really me.
Yo, acknowledge the lumber chat real quick.
Yes. Shout out to the lumber chat. You guys are doing a great job. Just doing a great job existing. Michael Cole is in our lumber chat every single week. In disguise. In his burner. All right, let's end the show. I'll end the show. Tune in next week where we talk about either what happened in wrestling or the greatest wrestling movies of all time. Time. And I may even add TV shows because you got to add Ultimate Muscle or what's the Lucha show? Lucha. It's a kick-ass wrestling show.
Tiger Mask, the anime.
Oh, I never even watched it. Never watched it.
Yo, watch Tiger Mask W. Stop playing.
Well, if I do that, you got to watch. I'm sure you probably watched it. What was it, Hulk Hogan and Friends or whatever that show was?
I've seen it. I haven't watched it though. So if you watch Tiger Mask W, I'll watch Hulk Hogan and Friends. I'll find it.
I don't even know what it was even called. It's like Wrestling All Stars or some shit. But Hulk Hogan and Friends, it has all of them on there.
Hulk Hogan and Friends.
And they're silly adventures. And they're silly adventures.
Might as well. Why didn't he just tell me to watch Swamp Thing and just call it a day?
Yeah, I know. Couldn't I just watch Scooby Doo for this shit? No, you can't. You ain't seen JYD and Peril.
Junkyard Dog Boy.
Or Hillbilly Jim or Big John Stud.
The Iron Chick is at it again.
The Iron Sheik gonna stop you for the run.
All right, before we go rambling on, let's end it because we're gonna be here forever.
I'm sorry, Manny.
Didn't mean to hurt you.
Cry. But tonight we're talking
I'm
about
getting rid of Nick Aldis. Hard times, daddy.
Hard times.
Hard times, daddy.
We had to put Nick Aldis as a cover. That's hard times. You don't know hard times until you put Nick Aldis as your thumbnail. You don't know what hard times really is.